Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's just me right now. Jennifer's coming, but you are listening to Journeys and Ambitions with your girl, Abby. And then Jennifer will be here momentarily. She's a working girl. She's a working girl. She was on a phone call. Let me say hello to everybody. Erin, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. Miss Carter, hello, hello. Good morning. You're listening to Journeys and Ambitions on LV with Val Radio. I'm so super excited for today's episode. Y'all want to know why? Because we're going to be talking about Bestie or the Restie. We all know the saying, besties, we're besties for the resties. Good morning, Brittany. Good morning, Terry. Hello, you guys. Good morning, Tina. Hello. Good to see you. Thank you all for joining this morning. Hello, Anna. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, so we're going to be talking about Bestie or the Restie. We all know. Good morning, Richard. Nice to see you. So we all know the saying, we're besties for the resties. We're going to be talking about, are they your bestie? Or are they just with the resties? Are they regular schmegular degular? You know what I'm saying? So we have some good topics for you guys because I've been going to therapy. Yes, I've been going to therapy for almost a year now. And I've learned a lot of things. She's given me some good tools to use. Here comes Jennifer. Yeah, you gotta go around.
I know.
Yeah. She's given me some good tools to kind of determine. Are you okay? I wish y'all could have seen that. Oh my God, are you okay for real? Okay, she'll be on in just a second. Okay. Anyways, I've been going to therapy, and my therapist, her name is also Jennifer, has given me a lot of really good tools. You're making a lot of noise.
Sorry.
Thank you. Oh my God. Anyways, her name is Jennifer too. And we have, Brittany said, are you good? She's good. She's fine. Anyways, when it comes to like friendships and relationships and how to kind of navigate that, because I was the type of person before, like I would meet someone one time. She's fine, guys. Where's your headphones? Okay. She's fine, guys. She's okay. I know I'm being passive, but
well injured.
Yeah. Anyways, she's given me some great tools to kind of determine, is someone really your friend? And because I'm the type of person I used to be where like I would meet someone one time, we'd have a really good interaction. I'd be like, oh, they're my best friend. And I've kind of learned to pull back from that a little bit. And so I want to introduce today's topic with the tools that my therapist gave me. Are you okay, Jennifer? They're all asking.
So I'm so glad that was not on camera. That was actually
the way we have our setup is kind of stupid because it's like right by the door is all these cords.
That's anyway. Where so we plug directly into the
Ethernet.
Yeah, and it doesn't quite reach. So we have a cord, so we had to climb over that. And then I tripped and I fell against a thing that we have. Anyway, it probably was really funny to see.
It was,
but I'm slightly injured. I got the funny bone. You know how you have like one in your knee and one in your elbow?
Yeah.
I hit both.
Oh.
So now I'm just like rubbing my knee, rubbing my elbow. I'm such a klutz.
Deborah Beelman said, only you, Barnes.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's she knows me well. So
yes. Yeah. So
very graceful.
I want to dive right in. She said, no, you was excited about the show. That's what the starter said.
I was like running here. I'm on call for work, so I have to carry that, and I ran to go get it because I forgot it at my desk, and I came. Yeah. Anyway, I was really excited. I'm really excited to see y'all.
We're here. We're ready to go.
We're ready.
So the things that my therapist gave to me, and there is it's basically 5 things that determine a true friendship. If you have like your circle of people, right? Your small circle is like the intimate people, your closest friends, your close family members and things like that. And then there's like kind of an outer circle of people you consider, friends, like maybe you see them once in a while, but they're not like your intimate friends. And then you have your outer layer of acquaintances. Okay.
And which we've already talked, like you're not going to call these people acquaintances. You're still going to call them your friends.
You're still going to like refer to them as your friend. But what she told me was, which was actually really crazy, she goes, you will probably only have 5 in your entire lifetime. The average person only has 5 like true friends. Like people who are in that very intimate circle.
At a time? Or like
in your entire lifetime. In your entire lifetime, you will have 5 people that you would consider close enough to be like intimate family members. Like that level of friendship. Gotcha. Which is honestly, I agree with that. But that doesn't.
But don't ask us who they are.
Right.
Because you're not on blast, so we're not.
But so, and to be considered a true friend, not like an acquaintance. And honestly, she didn't even really go into like people are either your friends or they're an acquaintance. She was basically saying that anyways, it was kind of
Abby actually was talking to me about this before the show, before we even started J&A here. And I had said, sorry, there's a lot of stuff going on with me today. I had even said, we gotta talk about that at some point.
Yeah.
Because it was interesting to me. And I actually I'm not sure if she's on today, but I told one of my friends about it, and I didn't remember what the 5 things were. And I know I said, here's your homework. You need to make sure you have them, because at the time that my friend asked me, I said, I don't remember them all. I have to ask Abby. But
so I'm going to list the 5 things for you that a true friendship actually has. And there is an order, and I don't have them in the correct order. That I don't remember. But there is a certain order that they're supposed to be in. And so here are the 5 things: caring, trust, loyalty, respect, and honesty. I think the first 2 or 3 are definitely respect, honesty, and caring. Those are that's bare minimum, right? The person that you're becoming friends with should respect you.
I think trust would be high on that too.
But trust takes a while to develop.
That's true.
And then what she told me about trust was that
easy to lose, hard to get, easy to lose, something like that.
No, let me say.
Okay, sorry.
What she said was that the trust has to be tested. Not intentionally playing games I'm going to see if I trust her. But you can't develop trust with somebody that you only know for a couple of weeks. They may be caring. They may be honest as far as you know. But honesty also kind of goes along with trust. That takes a while to develop. And you have to kind of go through these things with somebody and figure out, can I trust you? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of what she was saying. And then loyalty. Obviously, you want to know that person is loyal to you. Loyalty can go a bunch of different directions. I think some people think well, you're loyal to me. You're my only friend. I can be your only friend. That's not what that is. I think loyalty just shows that you're going to be there for that person and through thick and thin, And I think if we all took the time to nurture our friendships as much as we do our relationships, romantic relationships, I think it would be easier to get to that level of friendship with somebody. But I think a lot of people, they want in the same way a lot of people move fast in relationships. They meet somebody, they're in love, they move in, they get married, all these things. Because I've been watching Love Is Blind. I'm so obsessed. We might talk about that. Because that moves quickly. I think people do the same thing with their friendships. You meet somebody, you vibe with them, and you're like, oh my gosh, this person is my best friend. I'm going to spend every waking moment with them. But something my therapist also told me, and then I'll say one more little thing that she said, and then we'll kind of go into the discussion portion of it. But one thing she also told me was, it just left my brain.
Great, because I have things to say. And
okay.
You're kind of taking over here.
Okay.
I was late, and then I did injure myself. So
yeah.
Fair enough. Are any of my oldies out here? Because I don't think we do that.
I remember what she said. Let me say it really quick. She said,
this is our whole life.
Just because you spent, because I was like, I was saying that someone was my friend, and she goes, well, are they really your friend? How long have you known them? And I was like, well, a while, a couple weeks, couple months, whatever. And I was like, but we spent a lot of time together. And she was like, that doesn't make you friends.
That's not your friend.
She goes, is spending time together one of the 5 things? And I was like, no.
Also, think about your coworkers.
Yeah.
I mean, they're your friends.
And they're watching this.
I meant more from my perspective, right?
Yeah.
People I talk to every single day. I work from home, so I've never even face-to-face met these people.
Right.
But I've known them for years. And some of them know a lot of intimate things about me.
Yeah.
And I've literally never laid eyes on these people. But I mean, I still, in a sense, would consider some of them friends.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't share things with all of them, right? Maybe just a couple.
And that's a level of trust that you have with them too.
And we kind of make a joke about it even because we haven't seen each other. If I need something and we have our little internet, what do you call it?
Chat.
Instant message chat thing. I'll be like, hey, bestie, which they know means I'm going to ask you for something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we use the friend or even bestie or best friend, all that. I mean, you know, I have a friend, I know she's not watching, but I have a friend, literally all of her friends, she calls her best friend, including me. She's like, but we're best friends.
I was literally about to ask you who, like, we're not on the internet right now. You can tell me later.
You know her.
Yeah. And like, I think too, like when I think about my like friendships, the people I have one friend, she knows who she is, who is my like absolute best friend. I have her name tattooed on me. I've known her since I was like 11 years old. And like I consider her to be like my sister, like truly. And so I think a lot of times I've had other close friends for like the time being because me and my best friend went to different colleges. So you know, there was people that I was friends with for like a period of time. And I'm the type of person I am bad about reaching out to people a lot. And I think you are too. We're going to talk about that. I'm bad at reaching out first.
Didn't we already talk about that last show?
I'm bad about reaching out to people. And so there is some friendships that have lasted through the years aside from my best friend because that's like an anomaly type of thing. Like we've just been friends. We're always going to be friends.
You kind of said something I want to talk about because, you know, I'm not going to say the quotes, the cliches or whatever, but like seasonal friends or for a season, for a reason, whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that's really true. I think there's people in your life that, and it's not because you have a falling out. It's not because, you know, it's just because there was a purpose. Like for instance, you know, if I make friends and you're in 3rd and 4th grade with one of your friends' mothers and we're tight and we're doing stuff together. And then you and your friend drift apart.
Yeah.
It's possible that friend, you know, that we drift apart.
Yeah.
And it's nothing happened. We just don't have that commonality anymore.
Yeah.
Hobbies, workplaces, you know,
location.
I actually, this is kind of sad, but I was really close to a girl that I worked with in California when you were 3.
Yeah.
In fact, her and her daughter, I had 2 girls at work that we all 3 of us had daughters the same age.
Mm-hmm.
And Melissa and Gina. And we had lunch together every day and did all the things. And they were awesome. And we're Facebook friends, but I haven't seen them since you were, 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to say that Melissa actually passed away last week. And it was very sad for me, even though I hadn't seen her in a long time. We still kind of commented on each other's stuff.
Well, and I think social media kind of gives the guise of friendship sometimes too, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. I think my friend Mackenzie, who's tuning in today, she's actually coming to visit me this weekend. She's coming today.
I thought she'd be here.
No, I told her to come after the show. So that is one of my friends that I've made in college that has lasted because
they kept it going. It's an effort though.
It is an effort because I know I'm the type of person who doesn't like reach out a lot. Like you have to remember, I need to reach out to this person. I need to like make sure I nurture that friendship because if someone's not around and they're not in your face all the time, you know, and some people can last through that. Like me and my best friend, we went a whole year without seeing each other just because scheduling, we lived in different cities and things like that. But we had that like years and years and years of like very close friendship to where I was able to do that. But you're not able to do that with someone that you like didn't build that with. You know what I'm saying? If you're friends with somebody for a few months and then you move away, you're likely not going to stay friends with that person. There was a girl that I was really close with when I first went to college. We were really close. We spent like every day together. And then she ended up moving. I lived in San Marcos. She lived in Austin. That's only like 45-minute drive. And we really stopped connecting because we didn't have that like strong build before we were like apart like that.
Well, can you bring up Terry's?
Yes. Terry said, define oldie. I'm here. LOL.
Actually, Terry, I meant like my generation. And I was going to say that when you were talking about how you kind of you only knew somebody like 4 or 5 months or whatever. And she's like, you're not your friend. I think at our age, we don't do that as quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
think your generation doesn't do that as much?
No, I mean, I think we might meet somebody and they're cool, but I think it gradually builds to a friendship.
I think that's like as you get older, you kind of go into that because think about it. Little kids are like, "Oh my gosh, I just met you today. We're best friends."
Well, and also too, like, and little kids and younger people are in the same proximity more often. If you're going to school and you see that person every single day, right? We're not doing that.
There's a lot of people that I considered really close friends in high school And then as soon as high school is
Yeah.
over, I don't talk to them. I don't text them. I like their posts on social media sometimes, but I wouldn't like, it's kind of funny now because I know a lot of people that are like getting married. And there was a girl that she's probably not watching this, but there was a girl that I was really, really close with in high school. And we went to elementary, middle school, and high school together. And we were really close in high school. We were in different friend groups, but we were still really close. We didn't like hang out with the same people, if that makes sense, but we were still really close. And she got married last year. And the people that we did hang out with together, she invited all of them but me to her wedding. And I was like, not really offended because I don't talk to her anymore. But a part of me was like, but we were like really close in high school. Like I took her to school. Like we were really good friends. I did.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll tell you later.
Okay. Because I actually run into her friends all the time. And they're like, Abby's mom.
There was a handful of people.
And I got invited to one of your friends' weddings, which I was like,
oh, you just tell me later. We're not gonna say names. I forgot.
I was late to it.
Oh, I know.
Let me go back. So I was talking about Terry. And Terry, we don't use the word Bestie. 3 a.m. friends. People that
read it, Mom. Read the whole comment.
Terry Gibson. We don't use the word bestie. We use 3 a.m. friends. The people you can count on to bail you out of jail at 3 a.m. I didn't know it said that. But facts.
Yeah.
Not that we want to go to jail, just the people you know you can call.
Yeah.
Well, on that same token, I also thought Terry's actually maybe not the best example because Terry picks up strays. She will make best friends with people that she's like, they look nice. I'm going to go talk to them. That might be after a
Well, and that's, I think that's like, it starts off as an acquaintanceship and then it grows more into a friendship. I want to read a couple more comments. The real Miss Carter said, I think people use the word friend too loosely at times. I agree with that. Tanya said, I think as you age, outgrowing friendships becomes more common. Priorities shift, people evolve, and circumstances change, especially in my age group right now. Like, I am not married. I don't have children. I'm out of college, but like mainly I just work and like do like, and I socialize a lot. Like I don't have a ton of like important priorities. I mean, I do, they're important to me.
Right.
But like I said, I'm not married. I don't have kids. I live with my mom. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm in such a different stage of my life than a lot of people my age. And because of that, there's some people that I just don't really talk to anymore. And there's no like bad blood. It's not like, oh, I don't mess with her.
So they're just not part of your 5 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because I have a group of friends here that I used to spend 2 or 3 days a week with, on the weekends and 1 day a week, we'd all, go out to happy hour. And then on the weekends, I'd see them every single weekend. And I love them all. And we're still really good friends. But I dropped off when I got separated. They're all married and they did nothing wrong. I just felt.
You feel like out of place, kind of.
I felt, and they did nothing to do that. But like when we're sitting around talking, right, and they're talking about their husbands and this and that, it just triggered me. It was not their fault. And I don't want them to stop what they're doing. I had to pull back. And then
your own mental health,
and then I met another group of friends that were divorced or unmarried. Mm-hmm. And I spend more time physically with those people, but the other group of friends still like in my heart are still my
it's not always about friends, who you spend the most time with. It's about
because they're married, they have grandkids or kids or they're doing all that. And I
don't think you need to spend an astronomical amount of time with someone for them to be your closer best friend.
Well, that's what I'm just saying. Yeah. If you pull back or there's things you can do in life that doesn't necessarily mean that that person has upset you in any way.
Right.
Like I have a friend on here now that I haven't spoken to in 4 or 5 years. Or has it been that long? No, maybe not.
No, it's been that long.
It's been that long.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, we had a falling out, but it wasn't, I knew she'd be back. I'm saying that because I know you're watching. We didn't really have a falling out. And I can understand this now, but I was in a toxic relationship, on again, off again relationship. And she loves me. So it was hurting her to watch me do this, and to continue to go back to it. Well, and I didn't understand that until I watched somebody else do it. And I was like, oh.
Well, and your romantic relationships really can affect the other relationships around you. I mean, even you and I with that relationship, like ran into.
We weren't getting along.
We weren't getting along. Same with my last toxic relationship, caused a rift with me and my mom and other people close to me because it's like, and I don't want to diagnose anybody.
Because you can see, especially if you really care someone, you're close to them, right? you can see that's changing you. You're unhappy. And you're not enamored by the other person.
Yeah.
I'm not enamored by your partner. So I'm like, did you see that? Because that's so that's what people were seeing in me.
Yeah.
And it's not that I didn't even see it, because I definitely did, the toxicity. But I don't know where I was, and I was in a place where I just kept dealing with it.
Yeah.
And so a couple of my friends were just like, I love you, and you're ridiculous, and I don't want to watch it anymore.
What I think,
so
because I have a person close to me who dealt with a very toxic and abusive relationship, and a lot of people, when they don't want to be friends with someone who's like dealing with that, but in the end of the day, that's what those toxic people want to do. They want to isolate you. They want to separate. So if you're close with somebody and they're going through something like that, even if it hurts you to see them hurting, you can say like, listen, I don't want to be around this person. Right. I don't want to be around it.
But I'll be here for you.
But I will be here for you no matter what. Like, I don't care if I've told you, like, I'm not going to be back with like, oh, I told you so. I told you this would happen. Like, that's not a true supportive friend. A true supportive friend will say, I'm here for you. I'm sorry that person hurt you. And, and when it comes, and we're going to talk about relationships here in a second, like when someone goes, they say it takes seven times to go back, and 7 times to leave an abusive relationship, whether it's physical, mental, financial, emotional, all the things.
I think like 37.
Maybe for you. But yeah, so I think it's important. And thankfully my most toxic relationship only lasted a year, and I wasn't long enough for me to really truly isolate myself from my friends. But had we been together long enough, I know that there was a few people that would still stick with me, even though they maybe didn't support my relationship. And that's like good to know, right? Because when you're in that situation and you feel like you don't have anybody but that partner, that's also very toxic.
It wasn't consistent enough for me to be isolated from my friends. Thankfully for me, I just kept entertaining it repeatedly, which was just, I like to say it was boredom. Yeah. But I've had,
there was a hold there. I don't think it was just boredom.
Yeah, there's a little bit.
Because it has to be more than just boredom for that to all happen,
I don't know what it was. But anyway, it's over now, so we're good.
I want to read a couple more comments. So let me see. Anna said, I feel like you need to build friendships. You know that there are seasonal friends. There are lessons learned from friends and the fake friends. And I'm going to talk about lessons learned.
Yes.
Yeah. Because
I actually did want to talk about that.
I want to talk about that too, because I did used to be the person that was like, oh, this person's my best friend, even though I met them yesterday. And I had 2 instances where I was very, very, very hurt by people that I was friends with. And the situations. And actually, I can think of 3 times, actually. 2 of them were in high school, and I know I'm old, whatever. Why am I still talking about high school? But that stuff sticks with you. That really does. And then a similar situation happened in college.
You're so
I'm
old.
so old. I'm 25. And then Tina said, I had lunch with a friend I've known since we were very little. We go years without seeing each other, but I know she's my friend forever. And yes, thanks to Facebook to stay up to date with each other. Yes, I agree. I think like social media we had a whole episode about social media and how like it can be kind of harmful, but I do think it's a good way to stay connected with people that you can't physically stay connected with.
There's that if they're at a distance. But I think if they're local and you're doing it, it's because they're not really your friend.
That's true.
You're just catching up without having to speak to them.
I made a point a few years ago actually to go through and unfollow people that I don't actually care about, that I was just following for like because I knew them. Mm-hmm. Which we all have that one social media platform. Like on Snapchat, I'm friends with people like the random girl I met at the bar in 2018. Like I'm friends with like everybody. But
I think I did that once, and I don't post a lot on Snapchat, but if I do, this girl likes it all, and I'm like, who is this?
Right. But then but like Facebook is more for people I like actually interact with. Same with Instagram. I don't want to follow you if I don't care about you or your rotten, ugly children. I'm not following you.
Wow.
I said something last time about children. I actually love children. I don't know why I talk so much. Because if you don't, like, if you're not, like, if someone you barely know is, like, posting their life, you don't care about their life. I'm like, I don't care about you. Because I don't know you like that. But I want to talk really quick.
I don't know what that emoji says, but my girl right here, what did she put?
A heart.
Oh, look, I can't even see that. And I have glasses on. That girl right there that just made that comment.
Jen George.
Mm-hmm. any random person on Facebook that you pick will be friends in common with Jen George. And then you send her a picture and you go, who is this? She's like, I don't know.
I don't know. I want to talk about Anna's comment where she said the lesson learned friends. So I'm gonna tell a few I'm gonna be quick about it. Quick stories of some friendships that I had that really changed my perspective on friendships. So I'm gonna tell 3 really quick stories. So the first one, I was in high school. I had this group of friends, and me and like it was like there was like a few of us girls and then a few guys, and us girls were dating the guys. Like my boyfriend's friends were like my girlfriend's friends. Does that make sense? Okay. Like 3 girls, 3 guys. 3 girls, 3 guys. We're all friends, but we're each dating whatever. So that was the situation.
We got it. We've all seen Grease.
Anyways, and so I had this birthday party, and we went to different schools than the boys, us girls did. And my birthday is in October, and it happened to fall on the night of the other school's homecoming. And so we all agreed as a team. We were like, okay, we're gonna go to our school's homecoming, and then that way Abby can have her birthday on that homecoming, right? Which I would have changed it, but that's what we agreed on, right? So one of my friends, the girl, she has everybody meet up at her house before they go to my house, which makes no sense, but whatever. That's what happened. And then, the party started, it's like 30 minutes to an hour later. I'm like, hey girl, where are you at? And she calls me and she goes, and keep in mind, my boyfriend is with her. The guy I'm dating is like at her house, at her mercy in terms of like rides and stuff like that. Keep in mind, his birthday was like 5 days before mine. She threw him a big birthday party. She threw him a birthday party. She didn't even bring me a gift, but it's fine. It's fine. And she shows up late. Well, she calls me and she was like, well, we're actually we decided we want to go to homecoming. And I was like, and I start crying because I'm like, are you kidding me? Like I would have changed anyways, turns out
Abby's home waiting for her friends to show up to her birthday party.
And my boyfriend, my entire group of friends, and there's other people that I was friends with that were there too, but this was like the core people I was hanging out with at the time. Anyway, she was like, I'm just kidding. Like, I don't know to this day if she was actually kidding or
she retracted
it because you talked to her. You were like, that's not cool. You did. You were like, that's not cool, dude. Like, Abby's upset. This is her birthday.
I've done that a few times in your life. I don't know.
So that happened. Then another time, I was really, really close with this girl, like very, very close. We went on vacations together. We spent like every weekend together for a couple years. And then I introduced her to a girl that I was in like the dance team with. I'm like giving a lot of details. I introduced her. They're probably not watching. I introduced her to a girl that I was friends with outside. Like this girl I was just friends with. We weren't in anything together except for school. This other girl I was like involved with in other activities. I introduced them. They don't even like each other at first, but then they become, and they're still actually really good friends to this day. But this again was a homecoming situation. This was I think my junior year.
They're both friends with me too.
They are both friends with you. This was my junior year. And so we all decide we're not going to go to homecoming. We're going to go to this party, right? So I'm looking cute. I'm getting ready. And I don't drive at this point because I was younger than all my friends. So I couldn't drive. So I'm just waiting. We made the plan. Okay, I'm ready by this time. Well, it's like 11 p.m. and I don't get a call or a text from anybody. And I'm like, oh, I guess we decided not to. I wasn't even mad, right? I wake up in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Them two and again, because we kind of developed like this friend group, are all at this party. And then they're all hanging out. And I called them, I'm like, what's up? Because I called them. Like, I was like, hey, what's going on? The girl that I was super duper close to told everybody, don't text Abby back. Don't call her back. I don't want to go pick her up. I don't want to use my gas money, which you would have driven me, which was like the crazy part.
I feel like you're holding on to some things.
I am. Because, okay, now let's segue into the next story.
We should. Oh, this will be story time. What have you learned from this?
I have one more.
Do you hold grudges?
I do. I do hold grudges. There's a whole episode of Tasteful and Toxic coming out on grudges, actually.
That's why I said it. Watch Tasteful and Toxic.
Watch Tasteful and Toxic because we talk about holding grudges. But then in college, I work with these 2 girls. They're not friends. I'm friends with both of them. I make them friends. We become this little threesome friend group, right?
Let's fast forward. It's the same story as the last one, only in college.
Pretty much. But I want to tell it.
Right.
Because, so I was really, really close with this one girl. Like we were living together, and then this other girl was friends with us too, but she didn't end up, like, there's not a room for her to live with us. So, we're all becoming like really close friends and we're all hanging out, but then like they kind of get into things that didn't really want to get into. I was very focused on like school and work and stuff like that. And they were kind of more focused on having a good time. And so they would do that. And, and they would, at first they would invite me and I would just kind of be like, maybe not today, but like, on this day I'm available or whatever. And then it kind of happened where they just kind of stopped inviting me. And then one night we decided we're going to go out to this like bar, and I wasn't 20 yet, but it was like an 18 and up bar. And so I'm like ready to go. I'm looking cute. I'm excited because they've been hanging out. They've been partying. They've been doing the thing. It's my time, right? I'm not done.
You told the same story in the last show.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, when she asked me to drive?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then I'm done. We told it on the last
Please
show.
watch the last episode.
Okay. Anyways, so those things you're right, I did tell that.
No, you're holding a grudge.
I am holding a grudge.
You probably told it on Tasteful and Toxic too.
I probably did, because it's not even about holding grudges, but it did teach me a lesson that like these people, when they treat you like that, are not your friends. They are not your friends. But I think you remember that, and that being the reason that they're not part of your friend group. But do you still associate? I think you still associate. I follow them on social media. That is about it. Okay. I follow them on social media. I wish them happy birthday, and I move the on because, like,
you wish them happy birthday.
I do when I remember.
Right, well.
But the thing is, too, is like, I also don't really like big friend groups either. I feel like that is a recipe for like hurt and people feeling.
It's rough. My big friend group, when I was talking about, I'm married, we know the reason that got kind of, anyway, I'm not gonna talk about that. Let's move on.
I just went on like 10 anecdotes. You go.
Yeah. No, I was going to go back to when you were saying that you don't reach out. And I had tapped into that last week, that I'm not the reaching out friend. So now we know where you get it.
Yeah.
But why do you have friends that are like totally okay with that and then others that aren't? What do you think?
I think that people require everyone's different. And I think you end up gravitating towards people who are on your same like level, right? And that can go a few different ways, right? Like I can't be friends with someone who never reaches out either, because then we will never talk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I have those friends though, and every once in a while we stumble upon each other.
I also can't be friends with someone who wants me to talk to them every day. I cannot do that. I don't have the capacity to like have a conversation with somebody every day. So like,
yeah, you do. It just has to be that one friend.
I don't know. Even my favorite people, I'm like, do I want to text you today? But I think the people that I'm like, that I've developed true friendships with, which like my therapist said, is only like a handful of people thus far in my life. I'm talking about platonically. The handful of people, we're on the same, like, I don't think they feel like I don't reach out enough, and I don't feel like they don't reach out enough. I feel like it's mutual. And because they're my close friend, I am like more, I think about it more. I'm like, I need to make sure I text this person.
But it depends on, okay, so let's take your best friend, for example, right? Mm-hmm. And she has been and always will be. But when you lived in different cities, obviously.
We didn't talk for months at a time, honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Still love each other, still friends. Now that she's here, you see her at least once a week.
Yeah.
So it's different. Your circumstances are different. If I know your other best friend who's married with a child, you don't love her less, but right. She also lives a few hours away. And, you know, getting together, the things that you want to do are different, but you still love her. She's still one of your best friends.
She's still someone I care about.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it just happens that way. And, but so much, you know, you say lessons, and much like I say, this show is kind of therapy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
The last show we were talking about whatever our subject was, but, you were talking about reaching out. Mm-hmm. And I had said, mind you, I didn't think of this ahead of time. This just came out of my mouth. And later I was like, oh, look at me learning stuff. But you know, you just, at one point, I think I was like, well, you know, I'm 50 years old. I mean, I'm probably not going to change, and neither are my friends.
Yeah.
Right. So, right. Instead of asking someone to change, let's work with what your strong points are.
Right.
So last episode was, do you keep your word? Yes, I'm pretty good at keeping my word. So instead of asking me to suddenly start reaching out, make me keep my word. Say, Jennifer, please reach out to me every other Saturday.
Well, and I know
I'll do that.
I know somebody too.
Play to my strong points.
I know somebody too who is kind of like an out of sight, out of mind person. And she has this close friend who moved states away. And she was like, I mean, we have to schedule phone calls, because if not, I'm so busy. I'm not.
And
even
it's not a lack of caring. And it's also, this is me. Sorry, this is Gen X right here. If you live in a different time zone than me, I will 100% think of you at the worst time.
Yeah. Like in the middle of the night.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning to them, or it's 5 a.m. Like it's terrible.
I want to read some comments too. Tanya said, setting boundaries versus being there for your friends. Do you agree with asking for consent for emotional labor? Is it welcoming and crisis averting, or does it make the friendship more transactional?
Oh, well, I'm just going to say real quick, because I'm just going to say the first thing that came to mind was when you were younger, and I realized, okay, those of my friends who are on here, they always call me like a man. They always call me a dude. Like I think like a man.
Yeah.
And I spent my formational years with my father, being my primary
caregiver.
Yeah. And so I do tend to have some male mental tendencies.
Yeah.
Okay? So I at some point realized this when dealing with Abby growing up as a adolescent. And I was reading stuff about, how to deal with your angsty teen or whatnot. And I realized that it was coming to her as a typical masculine role and wanting to fix things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, let me fix that. And she did not want me to fix things. She just wanted me to listen and give her a hug and whatever. So upon realizing that, I went to her and I said to her, I was like, listen, I realize that that's what I'm doing. And so I'm going to need you to say to me, I don't want help. I don't want advice. I just want you to listen.
A lot of times I don't even want a response.
Yeah. Like, don't talk. Just listen to me. I'm like, okay. And so we still kind of take that on. I'll either ask, like, well, do you want feedback or you just want to vent? She's like, just vent. I want feedback, so we have that. So as far as and that's mother-daughter relationship, right?
Yeah.
So I think if you do, I think it's respectful if you say to a friend, I'm going through something. Do you have the emotional capacity to take this on right now?
To listen to me.
Yeah. Because okay. If say I'm going through a breakup and my friend calls me because she's mad that her husband ate the last donut.
Yeah.
You
don't have the capacity.
I can't listen to your donut story. Go get another donut.
And I think as the person who's needing the emotional labor from somebody, you have to be mindful and pick and choose the timing, consider what the other person is going through, because you said a breakup. A year ago, I went through a very devastating breakup. And I felt very betrayed, lied to, blindsided, all the things. And so I called two people closest to me. I have a lot of people that I consider there's two people that I specifically called pretty much every day. And they're both watching this. Mackenzie and Amal, love you guys. And I would call them crying. And I did this for pretty much every day, one or the other. I would switch off. I'm I can't give too much to one person.
I think I said to call those friends. Not only are y'all close to her, but you're living at a distance. So you have you know what I mean? You have a view of it from a distance.
And I was able to, after a couple weeks of doing that, I was kind of okay, I need to chill out. I need to deal with this on my own. I was able to lean on these people, but now I can't expect them to be at my mercy every time I feel sad about something. You know what I mean? I think if you are going through something and you need someone to be there for you, be what's it called when you do something in moderation? Do it in moderation.
Well, and also, you got to read the room, right? And sometimes as the receiving person, if it's been too much or it's not enough, you got to just say it. I have a friend who's talking about her relationship issues, right? And first it's okay. And at some point I realized, because we're having a discussion and I'm giving advice or my viewpoint on it, it means that I'm reliving my past relationship that I've gotten through.
Yeah.
So at some point I realized I'm continuously living in my history, and I don't want to do that. So it's not that I don't want to be there for you and listen to your stuff, but it's bringing up a place I don't want to be anymore. So
yeah,
there's a lot of, especially as you get older, there's just a lot of things that you have. If you want a true friendship, you either have to know how to read the room and if you know that person well, this is a thing I can't bring to that person.
Yeah. because of whatever issues. Yeah.
Or if it's something that you have in common.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I want to read some comments.
Okay.
Amal says, because we only have 15 minutes left.
Oh, we still got to do it.
I know. Amal said, these stories always make me so sad. You both deserve the world, queens. That's my girl. That's my girl. Love her.
We're going to see her tonight?
Yeah.
I'm hanging out with you guys tonight.
We are.
They're taking pity on the old lady.
Brittany said, my mom always told me when somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time.
Yeah. We never do, though.
Aaliyah said, I like friends where we can just pick up where we left off. We don't have to talk every day, and what's understood doesn't have to be explained because, baby, I enjoy my space. Facts. I'm with you, Aaliyah. Sabrina said, I asked Kelsey, that's her daughter, do you want me to listen or do you need advice before she tells me something? Yep. Exactly. I'm going to read these last two comments. And then there's another quick thing I want to throw in, kind of another side of this conversation. And then we'll go.
I think that this could easily be like a part 2 at some point.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe in the summer. Because then we have our summer friends.
Yeah.
All the teachers who are off work.
You have your like party friends, and then you have like your true friends. So Anna says, love the story T. The lessons learned, friends hurt each other, but teach you how to read people. Really listen to what their actions say. Yeah, listen because they can act nice in front of you, but then be like, don't text Abby back because I don't want to pick her up. They just didn't want you there or to be with you. Facts, girl.
Why? You're amazing. Also bossy though. Maybe they didn't want, and also like responsible.
I'm bossy because people let me boss them. If people didn't listen to me, I wouldn't be bossy.
Well, but I mean, maybe they thought you'd be like, oh, we gotta go, or I don't know. I feel like you were more.
I'm a very independent person, so if it was truly that you didn't want to pick me up, you could have said what I would have done if I'm like, oh, I really don't want to go drive across town and go pick up my friend. I'd be like, can you get a ride? And then go from there. Solomon said, some people can't read the room. How can you help someone reading the room without offending them? Sometimes you have to be very direct. You can't expect, not common sense is not common.
You use decorum. Like, you know what I mean? Just, hey friend,
boundaries.
I know you're going through something and I understand because I've been through it myself, but this conversation is like, it's making me upset.
I feel like I've told you that before.
You have?
Yeah. Whenever you were going through that relationship, I told her, I was like, I don't want to hear about this person anymore. Mm-hmm. I was like, it's a lot, taking an emotional toll on me, and again, she knows if she really needs me, I'll be there.
It's also how much you care about that. It actually shows a caring if you think about it. Well, caring for yourself. Like, I don't want to be triggered to my past by this conversation, but it's a caring for the other person. You didn't want to hear about that. Another reason was because I'm her mother and she sees me being hurt by another person. And she doesn't want to, she knows I'm going to make my own decisions, but doesn't like watching it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sabrina said, I love how bossy she is. She's my spirit animal.
You are really bossy.
People do listen. Miss Carter says, if I have to talk to a friend every day, it's not going to work. We all have a life. Facts, girl. That you're expecting a lot out of me. Sabrina said, I respect real people more than fake. Don't kiss my ass. Just be real. If you don't like me, go you, sis. If you do, go you, sis.
I love that.
Tanya said, if Abby tells me to do something, I do it quickly. I want to be like her when I grow up. Oh, and then Amy said,
she does
Amy!
listen to me.
Look, it's Amy.
Hi, Amy. I thought at one point that's what you're talking about. And then you said something else. I'm like,
no, wrong, girl. She said, this is the iconic duo I always needed. Oh, that's so sweet. We are going to go into Am I the Asshole, but I kind of want to introduce another side of this really quickly. And tell a quick story.
Oh, boy.
Quick. It'll be quick.
Okay.
Around this time last year, actually, I became very quickly friends with this girl. We were friends for a few months. And this girl, and this kind of goes back to Solomon's question about how do you set those boundaries? Like if people can't read the room. I feel
like you talked about this time too. But tell it again.
We have more viewers this time, Jennifer.
More viewers. Tell it, girl. Tell it.
Anyways, so I became very quickly friends with this girl, and she expected a lot out of me. Like every week, it was like, drop everything, I need you. And I'm like,
She was going through a lot.
I was also going through a lot. We were both going through a lot. And she was there for me, but she reached out and was like, how are you doing? Tell me everything. Like I did not, because I don't also want to ask for help from people that I'm not that close to. And so I was like, girl, I'm dealing with this on my own. Thank you. I'll give you the tea or whatever. But she actually texted me one day and was like, I feel like she like basically was like, I feel like you just dropped me as a friend. Like you're not like being there for whatever she said. And I had to have a conversation with her. And like, she texted me that, and in person, I had to have a conversation with her. And I said, listen, I think you're expecting a level of friendship that I cannot give you. And I was like, and that's not fair to you. So like, we're cool. We're acquaintances. We can hang out sometimes, but like, I cannot be your best friend. I don't know you well enough. It takes me a while because of all those stories I told earlier, because of everything I had gone through. I'm not going to quickly be at your beck and call. Like that has to be earned. There are people in my life who I will 100% do that for. And I know that they're not going to ask me every week to do that because they also respect my time. But like, yeah. So there's also the side of it is like you have to set boundaries with people. If someone is like taking a lot from you, you have to man up, woman up, and sit down and have a conversation with that person and say, listen, I care about you in these ways, and this is what I'm willing to give, and this is what I'm unwilling to give. And the flip side of that is don't take what you aren't willing to give. And that's something I learned with that too. I was like, maybe I shouldn't have let her be there for me in those ways because I knew I couldn't be there for her in those ways. You know what I'm saying?
Look at you.
She's a genius. It's
like,
fine.
It's like you've been to therapy.
I've been going to therapy for a year now.
And then I don't know.
She's therapized.
I'm just following everything. This is not related, but also wanted to say, because I kind of had an issue this week or last week that I couldn't really talk to anybody about because it would compromise other people.
Yeah.
And so I only reached out to one person, and that is somebody who lives in another state and does not know anybody involved.
Do I know this to you?
No.
Are you going to tell me?
No. Anyway, so like some of it, friendship, like you could be true to friends who don't even know you're being true to them.
You tell me everything. I can't even listen to what
you know what? Here we go. Here we go.
Keep going.
This is all I'm going to hear for the rest of the day now. But sometimes like you know, like you can be a good friend to someone and they don't even know you know what I mean? Like I'm just saying. Yeah. That's all. I don't know where I was going with that because I lost my train of thought because now I'm thinking of all the ways you're going to ask me.
I am going to ask you. Sabrina said, I've learned I'm always filling everyone else's cup and nobody was filling mine up. I then realized it was time to reevaluate my friendships. And that's not necessarily like a dig at you. It's just like, you're like, I need to change my approach so that I'm not feeling left out or like left behind.
Sure. Or you need like a mix of friends, right? I think especially at my age now, chime in friends, you have, and I don't mind being that, right? I have the friend
that can like guide and mentor, but then you also need that too.
The friends for different reasons.
Yeah.
And they're still your friends. I mean, you can have all those things, but I have the friend who calls me on Friday nights because she wants to go have a drink. That's okay. She has a rich and full life.
Yeah.
And that's the time she has available and she wants to go have a drink and talk to me.
And you're the person she chooses.
I will not hear from her the rest of that time.
But you're the person she chooses.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is, or they have the friend that wants me to come hang out in her backyard and go in the pool.
You have to meet people where they're at. And
yeah, exactly.
if it's a friendship worth keeping, you have to meet them where you're at. They may not be at your level of friendship. You may not be at theirs. Like in terms of needs, but if you really care about somebody, you'll meet in the middle somewhere and be like, listen, you may need a little bit more than I need, but I'm going to give what I can as long as you understand that I can't give everything. I
have male friends that I don't
have many male friends.
I don't have a lot, but I have male friends that I only hear when I hear from them, I'm like, oh, y'all broke up. Y'all fighting.
Yeah.
Which is okay. They really necessarily shouldn't be.
We're going to go into.
They necessarily shouldn't be talking to women if they're anyway, blah, blah, blah. And my point is, it doesn't bother me. Mm-hmm. But as soon as I get that text, I'm like, what happened?
You're like,
what happened? You want me to talk you through it? Because I'm going to probably take her side, just FYI.
Yeah.
Because I do that as well.
I don't have male friends, but if I did, I would take the girl's side.
Yeah,
always.
I do usually.
Okay, so we're going to do Am I the Asshole? This is a long one, so I'm going to read it really fast. Am I the asshole for setting boundaries with my friend and her boyfriend? So me, 23, and my friend, let's call Amy, 22, moved in together right before summer of last year. Things were really great for us for months. We both communicated really well with each other, always talked through our issues, cleaned up after ourselves, and overall worked so well as roommates. It was like a dream to work that well as roommates. So it is me, Amy, and our other roommate, Sarah, 24, in the house. Towards the end of the summer, Amy started dating a new guy. He would be over maybe 2 to 3 times out of the week. But over time, he started doing his laundry here, showering here, never cleaning up, and truthfully would only leave to go to work and would immediately come back. I've been the Amy in this situation, by the way.
Where's your rent money, dude?
I have been the person who let my boyfriend move in, but not move in. Though he would mainly, I've been the friend. Anyways, though he would mainly hang out in her room towards the end, he would still be here. In December, we had a maintenance guy come to our house and fix our AC. All 3 of us were at work when he was there. Apparently, this maintenance guy went into Amy's room and took some of the boyfriend's paraphernalia. I was not home for this, but Sarah told me when she got home, he screamed at her so loud that it shook the house. He started throwing things upstairs and screaming that Sarah and I must have taken it. Sarah herself came from an abusive situation, and hearing someone who isn't even on the lease scream like that made her feel very unsafe and brought up triggering memories. Sarah and I both told Amy he needs to apologize. He doesn't live here and he cannot act like that in our house. Amy understood and said she was going to tell him. Cut 2 or 3 weeks later, and the boyfriend never apologized, but yet told Amy that he did. This boyfriend is also pretty involved in some illegal activities. He would bring firearms into our home without us knowing. He even left one just sitting on our couch. We have cats. What would have happened if they jumped on it and it was loaded? I don't think that's how guns work. But anyways, I'm not done. Now Amy keeps her cat in the room due to behavioral issues. Amy would have me go into her room and pet, feed, and just hang out with her cat weekly. Every time I did this, I would send her photos of me and her kitty, and she was always okay with it. So I did just that, and Amy had texted me shortly after asking me not to go in her room. Okay, noted. A new boundary is okay. A new boundary is okay. But then her boyfriend calls me and tells me that I must have stolen his flower. I think it's talking about anyways. Because I went into her room without asking. She said I went into his space, and he feels violent. Oh, this is okay. He feels violated.
I think we need to make him shorter after this, but still, keep going.
Well, I try to pick him on the theme. Anyways, this honestly was the breaking point for me, and I started distancing myself from both of them. A week later, Sarah and I sent a text in our house group chat stating he needs to split utilities fairly and spend less time in the house. Amy, in turn, gave her 1 week notice to move out. Now she's gone, but has left cat poop smeared on her bedroom walls. She has blocked me on everything now. Even iMessage. This is why we like the long ones. Her and I have been friends since we were teens and just threw it all away for me setting a boundary on her boyfriend being at the house. Am I the asshole?
No. I mean, no one's going to think she's the asshole.
No.
She should have kicked him out earlier. No, you're fine. Cat poop on the wall. What kind of cat is this?
Yeah.
Or was that like a deliberate like?
Oh, no, I think that was like on purpose, like to a big F you. Yeah.
Poor cat.
Yeah. So as the person
I want to go get the cat.
I have been the person who I had roommates and would honestly like have my boyfriend there all the time. However, he never felt like entitled to like talk to him, and like I would have stepped up and been like, don't talk to my roommates that way. Like, you're here, you're using the space, you're here with me. We may make food together or whatever, but you are not a tenant. So know your place.
Cool. I don't even think they should be that often if you're roommates.
I agree with that now. That was the old me. I'm a new woman.
I mean, I don't know.
I want to read a couple comments too. So Terry said, agree. Your friendships bring different things to your life. They can all be very important to you. And then this is from Amy. So for context, me and Amy were really close in high school.
Oh, you guys had a love-hate relationship.
We had a love-hate. We'd either be best friends or we'd hate each other.
Or they hated each other.
It was so hot and cold.
Someday though, can we put the little video up of the all by myself one? Sorry, Amy, for my life. That makes me laugh.
She said, friendships is a hard subject. I think Abby and I can both agree, maybe, LOL, that when you're entering adulthood, everything changes and it's so hard for you to keep friends that you've had because everyone is going different ways and in different phases of life. Exactly. She's married with a baby too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not in that phase of life. That doesn't mean I don't care about those people. Doesn't mean I don't care about the people in my life that are like, were like a big part of my life at one point.
So Amy's parents, or mostly her dad and I, that sounded weird, but you know what I mean? They were on the dance team and we used to hang out during like the parent
This is
meetings.
not the dance team friend that I was talking about earlier.
No.
It's a different dance team.
Yeah, a different person.
Yeah.
But we used to as parents, we kind of got in trouble because we'd sit there like talking to the parent meetings and whatnot.
Yeah.
Anyway, and we saw each other all the time for 4 years.
Yeah.
But not now.
Yeah.
I mean, because, but if I ran into her parents, I'd be like, hey,
Well, I think that's like,
I'd be like, oh, how have you been? But our just circumstances are, and they have other, Amy has a younger sibling, I think just got married because I follow everybody on Facebook. And Amy has a child now. And they have
You're giving her business.
They have grandkids. Sorry. Amy, I'm giving all your business.
Her out.
I'm just saying, like, her life has gone a different trajectory as yours.
Yeah.
Her parents, who I was friends with, are dealing with a lot more in their life than I am.
And to be fair, at 25, I thought I'd be married with kids.
I thought you would be too.
And
but thank you.
That's not where I'm at. And that's okay. I'm not
Instead, we're doing this. So.
I'm not like sad about that. I'm very actually happy with where my life is at. I always say, thank God I'm not somebody's mother. Thank the Lord, because
y'all, she's my mother. I don't.
I have enough to take care of.
She's adopted me, apparently.
And then Sabrina commented or responded to our "Am I the asshole?" She said, "Heck no. If he doesn't live there or is contributing, boy, bye. Friends before guys." What do they say? Fries before guys. They're both pieces of shit, literally and figuratively.
I don't think that. I mean, that was quite a little story, but I don't think there's anybody that would say you're in. I don't think there's anybody that. Thanks for giving all the details.
I think people just do that because they're in there. Because, like, you know, even if you know you didn't do something wrong, sometimes you want to like talk to people about it. You're like, am I crazy? Am I crazy for feeling this way? Am I crazy for thinking this?
Well, so you know what we do, and that's so she's, I assume, girl, right? Yeah, she's feeling some kind of way because the friend, you know, got upset, moved out, and then blocked her and everything and won't take her calls. So now she's feeling like, wait a minute, what did I do?
What did I do? Right.
But the thing is that
she's
friend,
not being manipulated by that stupid, illegal gun-having boyfriend.
But also that friend is not necessarily blocking you or not talking to you because they think that you did something wrong. Mm-hmm. They're doing it because they feel guilty. Yeah. And they don't want to be called out on their shit. Yeah. So sometimes we're not blocking because we are mad at the other person.
It's because
we're mad at ourselves, or we need isolation, or whatever the thing is.
Hold on. I have another comment.
If I don't block you, I don't care. No, I'm just kidding.
Amy said, this is for the Am I the Asshole? I had a roommate in college who had a felon boyfriend come over, and he would sit. I can read this in her voice. So she's so funny. Who had a felon boyfriend come over, and he would sit on my couch.
You know why? Because it said my. Yeah. She's typing the way she talks.
She is.
Go ahead.
I was most definitely the asshole who didn't allow him to sit on my furniture.
That's funny.
I love a petty bitch. Funny. I love a petty bitch.
That's funny. I can see her little hands on her hips too. Like
getting real heated. Yeah, with the cute little voice.
Yeah.
And then Kristen says, close friends are our besties, the people in our inner circle. These are the friends that we make future plans with, such as vacations and trips.
She's talking about me.
You know, and
you went on it last time too. That's right.
There are not a lot of people that I've gone on trips with. You're the only person I really travel with because
I pay for it.
Well, no. Why do you always do that?
I just like to put it out there because you're bossy.
I am bossy.
I want to act like I add something to the relationship.
Because I guess maybe it is.
No, we have fun together.
We have fun, and going on trips with someone, that is a big commitment. That's a financial commitment because you have to like split things with that person. It's like, and also you don't know what that person likes to do. Like some people, when they go on vacation, they want to go to clubs. That's the last thing I could go to clubs and back home. What I want to do is I want to, first of all, I do want to lay around a little bit. I want to sleep in a little bit. Depends on what we're doing. But I can't go on a trip with someone who sleeps until like 1 p.m.
So we
got places to be. I'm not paid to sleep, girl.
We could and should, and maybe we'll have a whole conversation about vacations and travel.
Yeah.
But like, and Abby knows this about me, but you do have to be on the same page.
Yeah.
And I definitely have friends. I don't even think they'll get mad at me that I'm like, oh, I'm not going anywhere with you.
Yeah.
Because you're a lot and I'm probably can be a lot. But there's 2 types of trips, right? So when we went to Europe, that's the trip where you get up every morning and you're going.
Yeah.
You know, we did maybe a little too much. We did 3 cities in 10 days. But so there's no time. Yeah. We got trains to catch.
But when we go to the beach, we sleep till noon.
When we go to the beach, there's
nothing on the itinerary.
I'm rolling up when I want to.
No makeup.
And then I'm going to once I finally get like my coffee, then all I'm going to do is go downstairs and lay around on the beach. I might maybe do an activity here and there, but mostly I want to lay around. And that's my relaxing vacation.
And you have to be on the same page in terms of like food and excursions. Like, you know, I'm the type of person, I can be a foodie. Like I can be the person that's like, oh, I want to try these things. But depending on what we're doing, where we're at, I could also eat fast food I may want to try like one thing a day. But then there are some people who really, really, really care about food. And they're like, no,
I do.
for breakfast, lunch, and dinner,
Well,
I want to eat at a fancy, cool place.
I did care about that when we went to Europe.
Well, and that's fine.
I was very adamant that I wanted to eat French food or eat British food or eat, you know what I mean? But I will say that we did go to McDonald's in London, in Paris, and in Amsterdam just to see.
I wanted to try foreign McDonald's.
We did. It was kind of,
and it was delicious.
It was pretty cool.
But yeah, like that's also something. And like you said, we probably do a whole.
We should
show about.
We'll put that on the itinerary.
But it is time to wrap up. That
isn't
our next episode. All of our next episodes will be coming out. You'll see them next week sometime. You'll see it all queued up and ready to go.
Because I don't know what we're doing next.
I know what we're doing next.
Oh, she knows what we're doing. Oh.
It is draining your battery, which I think is good after this conversation.
Yeah.
Draining your battery.
Yeah. Like, what exhausts you mentally, physically? What
how do you refuel?
I think we'll just give like a little clip.
Taste.
I think that the reason we talked about it is because I'll just talk about me. People see me as an extrovert, and I very much am in social situations.
But
like I can talk to anybody, but I literally need to come home and not talk to anybody for like 3 days.
Because a true extrovert fuels their battery by socializing. Yeah. I think you and I are good at socializing, and we like to socialize, but that does not fuel my battery, girl.
Actually, I saw.
Makes you want to go honk shoe.
I saw a new term for that, and I will look it up and have it ready because there's another term for kind of being both. Anyway.
Amy, tune in next week. She said, Lord help me, being a mom equals battery drained.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's a whole thing.
I'm a dog mom.
I'm a dog caregiver.
Yeah, you are. You're my dog nanny.
I baby. She didn't have kids, so I watch her dogs. Anyway.
Thank you guys so much for watching today's episodes. It was really nice. I liked today's conversation.
That was fun. Thank you for participating. And come back because that makes it way more fun.
Yes, when you guys engage and contribute.
Crowd participation.
Yes, we love that.
We'll do a sing along. I'm just kidding. We're not going to get
copyrighted.
We can.
Yes, but thank you guys so much. This is Journeys and Ambitions. I'm Abby.
I'm Jennifer.
And you are listening.
And I'm fine. By the way.
She's okay.
I'm okay.
On LV with Val Radio, be sure to download the LV with Val app. Subscribe to us. Hold on, let me pull it up. Like and subscribe.
We got all the things.
We have everything. Follow us on
Facebook,
TikTok,
Instagram,
Instagram,
X, Twitter.
Most of our handles are Journeys and Ambitions. Twitter something different. I don't know what it is.
J_A_radio.
Confusing.
Oh, they were all taken.
Again, and also go on lvwithval.com. Check out the other LV with Val Radio shows that we have. And peace and blessings.
And see you next Friday.
See ya. Love you.